Welcome to The Explainer. Right now, we're jumping straight into a topic that feels, honestly, pretty urgent. If you're a young guy out there grinding away, maybe feeling a bit burned out, and you're searching for some real, genuine purpose in a world that literally never slows down, this one is for you. We're going to look at how an ancient tradition, Freemasonry, actually provides a rock-solid, time-tested framework for building your character today. All right, let's get into it.
So take just a second and really ask yourself, what kind of person are you becoming? And I don't mean, what's your job title or how many followers do you have, but who are you deep down? In the daily grind of chasing the next promotion or just swiping through notifications, it's so incredibly easy to lose sight of that. Think of this explainer as your personal development guide. We're using the historical lens of Freemasonry to help figure that out.
Section 1, the modern disconnect. I mean, think about it. Why is it that in an era of unprecedented connection, we feel so incredibly isolated? Well, it's because there's this massive, stark contrast between the environment we live in and the path we're talking about today. On one hand, you've got the modern world, fast-paced, completely digital, and, let's face it, largely driven by superficial status. But on the other hand, there's the Masonic path. It's ancient, and it offers the exact opposite. We're talking structure, slowness, intentionality, and a laser focus on your internal character. It's basically the ultimate antidote to all that overwhelming noise we deal with every single day. Now, to be clear, this journey doesn't just hand you some neat little instruction manual with all the answers. Instead, it creates a structured space for you to ask the really hard questions. Things like, what values actually guide my life? How can I contribute something positive to society? And ultimately, what legacy am I going to leave behind? It challenges you to look way past material success and focus entirely on developing your character and your soul. Section 2, Shaping the Rough Stone. This is where the whole abstract idea of personal development gets very, very real. It all starts with the concept of the rough stone. Freemasonry teaches that every single one of us starts out exactly like this, just a rough, totally unpolished stone. We're basically unrefined potential. And shaping that potential takes serious effort, a ton of discipline and knowledge. If you're a young man looking for some structure, this is actually incredibly empowering. It means you are not a finished product yet, and the hard work of shaping who you become, that's entirely in your hands.
So what does that shaping actually look like in practice? Well, it means consciously practicing virtues every single day. Integrity, honesty, self-control, patience, humility, justice, compassion, responsibility. This isn't just a list of nice-sounding words, right? This is a highly demanding, rigorous workout routine for your character. It means showing up and intentionally choosing these virtues, especially when it's much easier to take the easy way out. Because the whole point boils down to this. A Mason's true work is not the construction of physical buildings, but the construction of a better self. We live in a world that is constantly measuring you by external stuff, what you built, what you bought, what you sold. But this ancient path, it reminds us that the only construction project that truly matters is the one happening inside you.
Section 3, Finding Genuine Brotherhood. Because trying to build that inner temple entirely on your own, that is incredibly tough. And this directly addresses the massive epidemic of loneliness so many guys are facing right now. One of the absolute coolest principles here is the idea of leaving your titles and worldly distinctions right outside the lodge room door. Men meet on totally equal terms. It literally does not matter if you're a Fortune 500 CEO or an apprentice plumber, how much is in your checking account, or what kind of car you parked out front. You leave your ego and your status at the door. It creates this rare, unpretentious space where you're judged purely on the content of your character.
And when you put that into practice, you get an incredibly diverse group of people. In a typical lodge, you might have business owners sitting right next to high school teachers, nurses, artists, and electricians. You're connecting with guys from completely different walks of life, people you would probably never cross paths with normally. And let me tell you, that radically broadens your perspective and builds a vastly stronger foundation for your own life.
The relationships you form in this environment are built on things like mutual respect, shared values, absolute trust, and service. Now, I want to be super clear here. This is not a business networking club. You don't join to get a leg up at work or score a deal. You do it to find a second family. You do it to find genuine mentorship from older guys who've navigated life before you, and to offer real friendship to the guys coming up right behind you. Section 4, Tools for Inner Discipline. Let's see how all of this actually builds into practical, everyday application. Freemasonry preserves this incredibly rich tradition of symbolism that comes straight from the ancient medieval stonemasons. They used physical tools like the square, the compasses, the level, and the plumb rule, but obviously they aren't using them to build actual stone walls anymore. Instead, these tools serve as remarkably powerful symbols to teach moral and philosophical lessons that become mental models to help you measure your actions, keep your emotions in check, and walk uprightly through your life. Now, this journey also involves exploring spiritual dimensions. To be totally clear, Freemasonry is not a religion, and it doesn't try to replace yours, but it absolutely encourages profound spiritual reflection. It welcomes men from all sorts of varied faith backgrounds and unites them under universal principles, things like a reverence for the divine, moral responsibility, tolerance, and truth. It's a completely non-dogmatic space to deepen your relationship with whatever you consider the great architect of the universe. And let's bring this right back to your daily reality. The practical life skills you cultivate through this kind of inner discipline are massive. By showing up, studying rituals, and leading charitable efforts, you directly improve your public speaking, your leadership, your time management, and your emotional maturity. That internal work you do completely spills over. It instantly makes you more confident and effective in your career, out in your community, and most importantly, at home. Which brings us to Section 5, a lifelong transformation. The sheer depth of this journey is pretty mind-blowing. When a guy takes this on, he's not just joining some local neighborhood club. He is linking into a living chain of brothers that stretches back across centuries and spans entire continents. In a world that's changing at light speed and often feels chaotic, stepping into a timeless, living tradition like this, one that countless great men have walked before you, it offers a sense of stability, perspective, and belonging that's honestly hard to find anywhere else. And the journey unfolds in very deliberate stages, symbolized by the degrees of Masonry. First, you start as the seeker, basically recognizing that you want something more out of life. Next, you step into learning and self-discovery, doing the really hard work of examining your own flaws and actively building up your virtues. And ultimately, you're continuously striving toward real wisdom and mastery over your own character. But, and this is the core tenet of the whole process, the goal is never perfection. It's continuous improvement. There are no shortcuts here, guys. No guarantees. This isn't some quick life hack you can just knock out over a weekend. Becoming a better husband, a better dad, a better friend, a better citizen, that is a lifelong pursuit. It's a journey of daily, continuous refinement. Which brings us to one final question I want to leave you with today. We started this explainer by asking what kind of person you're becoming. Well, knowing that every single choice, every virtue you practice, and every connection you make is actively shaping the rough stone of your potential, what kind of temple are you building? I really hope this explainer has inspired you to look a bit deeper inward and maybe even start your own journey of moral and spiritual construction. Keep building, and we'll see you next time.